Living with a low-wage person like you is pointless.
Low wage?
I heard you make $8 an hour, right? Having a dim-witted wife like that is just like having a money-grubbing parasite around. Get out of this house now.
My husband tells me to leave with such nonsensical remarks. Even my daughter was jumping on board. Don't pretend to be a mom with low income. They're really joking around. They don't understand how hard I've been working. And so, I decided to cut ties with the two of them. Got it, I'll leave right away. You can laugh like that for now, but soon, I'll drag you both to hell. My name is Hillary, and I'm a 36-year-old office worker. I live with my husband Kellen and daughter Michaela. My husband Kellen and I met through work. He used to come to the company where I work often to conduct sales. He was very sincere and serious. I often dealt with him in sales and thought he was a trustworthy person because he worked so diligently. And as we worked together several times, we gradually started to talk about private matters as well. Kellen, you have a daughter, don't you?
Yes. Well, being divorced, it's tough to work while raising a child, you know?
So you're a single father. I think it's admirable to work and raise a child.
Is that so? I'm glad to hear you say that. I feel like I could talk about anything with someone like you.
Huh?
This is the first time I've ever talked about my private life like this.
I see.
If you don't mind, would you like to go out for a meal sometime?
Sure. That sounds good. I had feelings for him, so I was happy to be asked out for a meal. I was surprised to hear about his child, but it was a big plus that he mentioned it even before we started dating. He seems like the type to communicate important things up front, so I trust him a lot. When we went out for a meal together, just the two of us, he was funny and made our private time enjoyable. After that, he started asking me out on dates a few more times. After going on a few dates, he confessed his feelings, and we officially became a couple. I didn't have much experience with love, so I think I'm attracted to people like him who take the initiative. But it was definitely a big plus that he openly told me about having a daughter and being divorced right from the start. Also, he knew interesting date spots. We were able to dine at delicious restaurants known by the locals and go see incredibly beautiful and large fireworks. Then, about a month into our relationship, I got to meet his daughter, Michaela, for the first time. She was in the 5th grade, about 11 years old at that time, so I was quite anxious about how to act around her. I was really nervous before meeting her. But when we first met, Michaela greeted me with a smile.
Is this big sister Hillary? You seem to like her, don't you, Dad?
Hey, don't say that so bluntly. You're making me blush a bit.
Huh? But it's true, isn't it?
Michaela and her father seemed to be having a very enjoyable conversation. Watching their interaction, I couldn't help but smile. They were such a close-knit parent and child, and I found myself liking him even more. Moreover, Michaela was very sociable and friendly, as she talked to me a lot. Afterward, I decided to treat them to a homemade meal. I had asked Kellen beforehand about Michaela's favorite foods, so I made dishes according to her likes.
Wow! Hamburgers! They look delicious.
I nervously watched her take a bite. Then she happily took a second bite.
It tastes just like the food from a really good restaurant. I want to eat your cooking every day, big sister.
Really? That's great.
Hey, Dad's cooking is good too, right?
Well, Dad's is just okay.
Aw, don't say sad things like that.
I thought Michaela was such an adorable kid, and I was happy to become close with her. From then on, we started going on dates, just the two of us, or sometimes with Michaela as well. While it hadn't been explicitly mentioned, I believe we were both aware of the possibility of marriage. That's probably why we were meeting like this, as the three of us. My husband is a regular company employee. He's diligent at work and takes good care of our daughter, so I believe he earns a decent salary. I also work hard, so with our combined incomes, we could lead a comfortable life. Because Michaela is such a good kid, I wanted to create an environment where she could pursue anything she wanted in the future. Although we weren't married yet, I had already begun to feel the desire to raise Michaela as my own daughter. And our relationship continued smoothly. One day, Kellen proposed to me, and we decided to get married. At the time, I was 31 years old, and many around me were getting married. So, perhaps my desire to marry was also strong. He proposed to me during that time, and I immediately accepted. However, after informing my parents about the marriage, they expressed their concerns.
I'm not against being divorced and having children, but are you really sure about this? His child will be in elementary school next year, right? And she's in the midst of adolescence, so can you really handle parenting properly?
My parents' reaction was understandable, but I had been communicating well with her and really wanted to be her mother. It's okay. She's a really good kid, and he's also quite domestic and cooperative in many ways. I desperately explained like that. Somehow my parents were convinced and allowed us to marry. So we submitted our marriage registration and became a couple. We decided not to have a wedding ceremony to avoid unnecessary expenses, and as for my living arrangements, my husband and daughter ended up moving into the apartment where I had been living.
Wow, it's so incredibly beautiful and spacious. There are so many rooms too.
Michaela seemed really happy. She must have been thrilled to have her own room, especially since she had been living in a cramped apartment with my husband before.
Having my own room makes me so happy.
I was glad to see my daughter so happy. I have to be a good mother from now on. And so began our new life together as a family of 3. I was spending those happy and enjoyable days without any major stress. I genuinely believed that even if we weren't related by blood, we could still become a family. But reality wasn't as sweet. As my daughter entered middle school, her attitude towards me began to change. She started making disrespectful remarks. Michaela, please clean up the toys you played with.
I'll just play with them again soon, so I left them out.
You're done playing games for now.
Huh? Why? I'll play again after dinner.
You've been playing games since you got home from school. Playing games that much is not good. You need to study properly.
You're so annoying. Stop bossing me around.
Why are you talking back to me? I'm just trying to...
Stop acting like a mother to me.
I was surprised by her defiance. Eventually, I decided to talk to my husband about it. Hey, I'm a little concerned about Michaela's attitude towards me. Even when I try to correct her, she talks back. Then my husband seemed annoyed.
Well, that's just her rebellious phase. Every parent goes through that. You just have to handle it well as a mother.
But I was shocked that my husband wasn't very cooperative. He used to be kind before we got married, but after marriage, he left all the trouble to me. Yet while I was strict with my daughter, my husband would spoil her.
Michaela, bought a cake.
Yay, thanks, Dad. You're not like some annoying person around here.
My daughter said that and gave me a glare. Why did I have to be disliked so much? It seemed like my daughter hated being scolded by me and held a grudge. My husband seemed to notice this too, but he seemed delighted to be liked, and he didn't seem to care about me. But I still felt the responsibility to raise my daughter properly. The period of middle school passes by quickly, and if you're lazy, you'll end up with nothing. I worked hard in middle school, got good grades, and as a result, I got into a good high school, which opened up opportunities for myself, so I believe that effort in middle school is important. I saw classmates who didn't study in middle school fail the high school entrance exams and couldn't progress well in life, so I didn't want my daughter to have such regrets. I tried to be strict with my daughter's behavior, but she always resented me for it. The distance between me and my daughter was growing rapidly. Recently, she completely rejects anything I say. Even when we're all watching TV in the living room, she only talks to my husband. She completely ignores me when I say something. Yeah, she demands things according to her own convenience.
Hey, get lunch ready for tomorrow's event.
Huh? I didn't hear about that. Why tell me at night?
I told you yesterday, didn't I?
But it's already 9 p.m. The nearby supermarket is closed.
Then just go to the one that's open.
Don't say it like it's that easy.
I think it's a mother's duty to prepare lunch if there isn't any.
Michaela said that to me. I sighed and drove to the supermarket that was open late at night. If she needed lunch, I wished she had told me sooner. She had plenty of opportunities earlier since she was playing games until just now. Is my daughter really going to be okay in this state? She treats me like I'm invisible except when she needs something. But I have a job too, and sometimes it's tough. When my daughter gives me the cold shoulder, I sometimes feel helplessly angry. And when that happens, she tells my husband everything.
Dad, I just got treated so rudely by Aunt Hillary.
Hey, Hillary, what are you doing to my sweet daughter?
What do you mean? Michaela was the one who initially showed a cold attitude, wasn't she?
Because you did something to offend Michaela, didn't you? Don't try to blame your issues on Michaela.
But my husband was completely on my daughter's side, and my daughter looked satisfied, seeing me getting scolded by Kellen. When it came to this parent-child relationship, I was trying my best to be a mother, but it felt increasingly impossible. Later, my daughter graduated from junior high school and entered high school. But since she didn't study as expected, she couldn't go to her first choice high school and had to settle for a less prestigious one. To be honest, that high school wasn't known for good security. My daughter also started hanging out with a wrong crowd there. Michaela, why are you coming home late at night again? And you smell like alcohol. You're underage. You shouldn't be drinking, right?
Shut up! Stop bossing me around, damn it!
My daughter didn't listen at all, and she frequently talked back to me.
Give me some allowance money.
No, I just gave you some the other day.
I already spent that, quickly.
She'd say this while reaching out for money, and no matter how many times I refused, she'd keep demanding. And eventually she'd pester my husband, and he would tell me to give it to her. Hey, if you keep spoiling Michaela like that, you'll regret it, you know.
Shut up. Why can't you treat our daughter better? Is it because she's not your biological child?
Why would you say something like that? I'm trying my best to be a mother in my own way.
Maybe you're just not up to the task. If you want to be a part of our family, then try harder.
This is really the worst. Why did I even marry a man like this? I was starting to lose my love for my husband. And in the midst of all this, a surprising truth emerged. That truth was that my husband had been having an affair. It seemed the person he was involved with was a new employee at the company where my husband worked. Since there have been many suspicious behaviors, I hired an investigator, and it turned out he was indeed having an affair. I had reached my limit. He treated me like a housekeeper, pushed everything onto me, and didn't listen to anything I had to say. And on top of all that, he was having an affair behind my back. I decided to divorce my husband. At that time, I had received a certain proposal which might have been just what I needed. I'm going to divorce my husband. That's what I was thinking when unexpectedly my husband told me he had something to talk to me about. What exactly did he want to talk about? That day I had to work late, and when I came home, my husband and daughter were already there. As soon as I entered, my husband approached me in the entryway and said he wanted to talk.
I'm thinking we should get divorced.
Huh? I was shocked. I never expected him to be the one suggesting divorce. Why do you want a divorce? I should at least hear his reasons. What could my husband possibly say? Is he going to try to justify his affair? Then my husband smirked and said,
Living with a low-wage loser like you isn't worth it.
Low wage? I tilted my head in confusion. What was my husband even talking about?
You make $8 an hour, right? Having a dim-witted wife like that is just like having a money-grubbing parasite around. I had you around as a housekeeper, but it's not working out at all. You're not useful, and it's not like I need you anyway. Rather than spending money on you, it's better to hire a new housekeeper. Get out of this house right now.
My husband tells me to leave with an unintelligible statement. My daughter also took advantage of the situation.
Don't pretend to be a mom with low income.
They're really joking around. They probably don't realize how much I've struggled, and so I decided to cut ties with both of them. Understood. I'll leave right away. I've been living with the two of them for about 5 years, one way or another, so I felt a little bit of pity. But if I'm going to be kicked out like this, I won't show any mercy anymore. I quickly prepared to leave. I had already packed most of my belongings and had reduced a lot of personal items in preparation for the divorce, so I was able to leave the house quickly. So, I'm going to leave.
Oh, is it all over now?
Wow, even though you're a dull and plain aunt, you did pretty well this time. I thought I'd be relieved not to see your face anymore.
My husband and daughter bid me farewell while insulting me. They're laughing like that now, but that's fine. But soon, I'll drag you two down to hell. I went back to my parents' house and started making various moves. I had already consulted with my parents since deciding to divorce, and sure enough, 2 months after it was all over, my ex-husband called.
Hey, what's going on here? Why are we getting an eviction notice?
Well, that apartment is under my father's name. Since I'm leaving, there's no choice but to sell it, right?
Don't joke like that. Are you saying you'll take our home away from us?
That's because it's not your home, it's my father's. If you don't leave, I'll just call the police.
Wait, the police?
Then leave right away. Also, I will be claiming compensation for your affair.
Huh?
Did you think I didn't notice? I have evidence from a detective agency, too. You'll pay for your sins properly. I've already sent registered letters to your workplace. Oh, and by the way, I'm no longer paying Michaela's tuition.
Wait, tuition?
Did you forget about her tuition fees? Unbelievable. You just left it all to me even though she couldn't afford high school.
Hillary, can't we wait on the divorce? I admit I made a mistake, so please, come back.
Unfortunately, I've already submitted the divorce papers. And why should I reconcile with you? I'm in love with someone else now.
But even you wouldn't survive without me. You can't live on a wage of $8 an hour.
Are you misunderstanding something? My hourly wage is roughly $8,000 an hour.
Huh?
I'm saying my hourly wage is about $8,000 an hour. Maybe you misheard somewhere?
Wait a minute. That's just absurd.
Oh, really? Well, after my company's partnership with several overseas corporations, our revenue skyrocketed. Now I'm the CEO of that company with an annual income of around $30 million.
What? You're the CEO? I never heard anything about that.
Well, I didn't plan on mentioning it. So with a net annual income of about $14 million and converting it to an hourly rate, it's around $8,000 an hour.
We definitely need to reconcile now.
Unfortunately, I've relocated overseas, so I won't be able to see you two anymore.
Huh? Overseas?
Yes, so please give up. Of course, I'll be seeking alimony from you.
That's...
It seemed my ex-husband was fully aware of the situation. I immediately claimed compensation through a lawyer. Both my ex-husband and his affair partner paid me $30,000 each. It seems my ex-husband had to move to the countryside due to this incident. By the way, since he hadn't saved any money, they couldn't afford his daughter's high school tuition and she had to start working part-time. However, since my daughter followed my ex-husband and started living in the countryside, she has no friends and feels quite lonely. But it's all their own fault. On the other hand, I'm living overseas with my parents and working hard as a CEO. I plan to continue working hard to further expand my father's company. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing to the channel. See you in the next video.